Explosive depositions were just released from LA City firefighters talking about the Lachman fire and what happened in the days following it and leading up to what would become the Palisades Fire. Now, these depositions were released from attorneys representing thousands of Palisades Fire victims and were edited by them, but it helps paint a better picture of what happened leading up to what we now know as the Palisades Fire. Here it is.
And our orders were that we were going to have what we call like a hose pickup party, or we were going to be tasked with going to pick up hose at the fire that occurred the night before. I didn't even know it was named Lachman Fire at that point. I'm putting two and two together now, but that's what it was. But at the time it was just like, hey, the fellas had a brush fire last night. We're going to pick up hose. It was near the end of the line, and we were down in the burn, and it was about that time that I was just looking around and I saw light smoke on the ground. I saw branches that were smoking still, and I could smell smoke. And there were, I would say, several smokers. In that immediate area, I'd say there was like a handful, like 5, but that's a lot to me. It's just an indicator that stuff's still hot.
So was there a containment line near where you first saw these smokers?
Nothing obvious. To me, it didn't look like there was a very good handline cut. Not a clean differentiation between burn and green. And there was a lot of unburnt fuel in the burn. I looked around, there were no other firefighters. Nobody. I was the only one. So I went around and I exposed a couple areas of different sizes, and that's where I noticed hot coals underneath the ashes. I could feel the heat coming off of it, and I didn't even want to use my gloved hand because it was hot. So I just kicked it with my boot to kind of expose it, and there was like red hot like coals that was still smoldering, and I even heard crackling. I go, from my experience, I feel like we've been assigned to pick up hose today, but I think a better move would be to pivot and go to charge these hose lines and do a more thorough mop-up just based on that small area as a sample portion for what I was seeing. The way the hose was coming down the hill into my area, I did what any good firefighter would do is there was residual water, I cracked the coupling and I pinched the hose and I directed it into the ash pit to try to get the residual water to just cool that off and start to do something to mitigate these ash pits. And it steamed and it crackled, and the amount of water I put on it was still not enough. I didn't put it completely out. So in my mind, I was just like, I feel this requires further action. I just saw a couple of firefighters. I don't know their names. I don't even know who they're assigned to. And I just said, it was like almost sarcastic. I was like, hey guys, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like maybe we should be charging these lines instead of picking them up. And then they just kind of looked at it and were like, huh. So I initially brought it to the attention of my coworkers who are firefighters. I felt like I got kind of blown off a little bit. And then I mentioned it to the captain. Once in my mind, I decided that one thing needs mopped up. In my mind, everything needs to be addressed. So that's how I approached him as like, hey, cap, skipper, whatever. We have hot spots. We have some ash pits or whatever. That's an alert to double check the whole area, and maybe we need to switch our tactics. So that's all it was. It was a blanket attempt, and if a captain can't pick that up from me saying that and make the right choices, that's on him. Because that's not my job to overstep and tell him what to do. He earned that rank. So that's how we work with chain of command. Understand I was the only one up there. I'm an overtime guy. I'm not a captain. I don't make the decisions on this. We're good soldiers, so I've been tasked with picking up hose. I'm like the house guest. I'm not going to just tell people or try to micromanage and give commands. I'm not in charge.
Did you ask the captain why he hadn't directed other firefighters to mop up the area better, as you put it?
No, because you don't question the captain. I just went back to work, picking up hose, awaiting new orders.
Did you ever get new orders?
No, sir. And a lot of guys that were there that day, it was the second, so post-holiday, I was already working overtime because nobody else wanted to work it. So a lot of people were like, let's just get this hose picked up. That was the sentiment I was feeling. Like, we have orders. I haven't really spoken much on it because it kind of sits heavy with me that nobody listened to me. I felt like I got kind of blown off a little bit, and I haven't seen anybody step up and take responsibility. None of my leaders, none of the city leaders, nobody. I saw something, I said something, and to my best ability, I felt like we could have done more. I'm at the point in my career where there's a lot of stuff that people don't listen to us, okay? As you can probably see what's going on in the whole city, so.
Did you ever see anyone else that day extinguishing any smokers?
No, sir.
In your experience, all of those are capable of rekindling, correct?
Yes.
The distance between the X where you saw those smokers and where we see this yellow dot label Palisades Fire origin, do you have any basis to give me any estimate as to how far that is?
200 to 300 feet?
In your experience, can an ember blow 200 to 300 feet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did anybody ever come to interview you in connection with an after-action report for the Lachman fire?
No, sir. I thought that was kind of weird. I feel like an accurate report would have involved interviewing people who were actually on the scene that day. I'll go ahead and say it. I saw some stuff that didn't line up with what I saw coming out from my leaders. ATF. This ATF report was 76 pages long. Do you know how many pages there was on the Lachman fire? Do you know?
Tell me.
1.
Are you familiar with the McNulty law firm?
Yes.
And you're aware that the firm represents some of the plaintiffs in these Palisades Fire cases? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm just asking for a yes or no here. Have you ever spoken to the McNulty firm or any of the lawyers there?
Yes.
And how did you know to get in touch with the McNulty law firm? Like, did someone refer you?
Yeah, outside the scope might invade the attorney-client privilege.
I'm not feeling comfortable answering these questions right now.
Why does him seeking a lawyer way after the fact have anything to do with this limited discovery order, unless you're conceding you're just opening up discovery all the way?
My personal actions to seek any legal advice from any lawyer at any time is my personal decision. All the stuff came out, and any of my concern to seek counsel was after I saw. I'll go ahead and say it. I saw some stuff that didn't line up with what I saw coming out from my leaders, ATF, whoever. I sought protection from my fire chief for any future immunity, anything in retaliation, because that's what I fear. I didn't have anybody from the city contact me and say, hey, we'll represent you. We got your back because we want the truth. Am I not allowed to seek personal counsel with is there some sort of rule I broke? Or like, I'm asking too, why is that relevant? I feel I should have the privatized right to seek counsel no matter who it is. I'm asking why you're so concerned with who and when I sought counsel.
They want to try to discredit you because you reached out to Mr. McNulty, who's
I
one of the
object.
plaintiff's lawyers on the case, and they want to try to say that Mr. McNulty talked you into giving your truthful testimony today, which we all know is false, but that's why he's asking.
Can we just get back to the deposition? I'll ask my questions. You guys can object, and if his counsel wants to instruct him in a certain way, he can do that. So, just to be clear, you are represented by Mr. Sollett from Bush Gottlieb, right?
Yes.
You're not represented by the McNulty law firm, right?
No, sir.
Okay. When did it become clear to you would not be represented by the McNulty law firm?
Okay, outside the scope, I'm going to repeat the same objection. This is way outside the scope. His choice of lawyers has nothing to do with what the judge allowed to happen here. And now it's become harassing and oppressive for this witness to sit here and be peppered by the city's lawyer on things that are way outside the scope.
It feels like retaliation to me.
These are the kind of things that I'm keeping track of.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, I feel you're out of line. What does it matter? If we're all seeking the truth, you should have my back. Whoever, you're with the city, right?
Yeah,
Right, sir?
he is. He represents the
You
city.
represent the
I
city,
represent the
so
city.
we should want to get all our kinks figured out, get our fire department back to normal staffing, good command, good decisions, and whatnot. So what does it matter where I seek legal counsel when I'm part of a deposition, which is part of my job? Where does it matter where I seek legal counsel? Because I don't see anybody just wanting to get the truth. That's
We
what I'm
want
trying
the
to
truth.
tell you.
We
Well,
want the
there's
truth.
this. I can handle this.
Fire.
It appears that everything we know about reports being redacted, information being missing. I believe this ATF report was 76 pages long. Do you know how many pages there was on the Lachman fire? Do you know?
Tell me.
One. So here we sit in this room with all these hundreds of $1,000s in staffing and everything like that right now. And what are we talking about? The Lachman fire. So we all know that the investigation, interviews, and everything could have been done better, right? That's why we're all here. Because it's a big deal, I may have sought representation from multiple lawyers. So I am feeling a little harassed while you're fixated on this one lawyer or whatnot. That's none of your business. I can consult with whoever I want as far as I know. There ain't nobody from the city that was reaching out to help me with this. I had to go. I don't have the trust of the city. I had no backup from the city, and I don't trust the city after seeing stuff with my own eyes. Come on, don't make me go there. Please. Please. I'm trying to do you a favor, I feel, okay? And the city a favor. I don't feel that's any of your business, who I tried to consult with to get representation for this very day.
Okay, why don't we take a short break? You can consult with your lawyer,
I'm ready to go. I don't need...
and I'll see if I have any more questions.
You want to just finish up? Because
I need a break.
Okay.
all right.
Where you guys are at is state park land, right?
Yes, sir. It's the Topanga State Park is their dirt.
Do you remember speaking to anyone from state parks, the state of California, including John Oda?
Yes, sir.
He said, hi, but it's John Oda. I didn't remember at the time. It was real quick. He said, I'm with the, I thought he was a park ranger, but I'm with the State Department. I said, how you doing, John?
I didn't know he wasn't a firefighter.
My initial training was Firefighter 1. I'm forgetting the name, but it's credentialed under a national working group that coordinates the different firefighter certifications across the country.
And he says, I'm here. You need any help with anything? Because we look good right now.
But did you ever hear Ranger Oda tell Chief Mullen that state parks would be patrolling the Lachman Fire area after LAD finished up, after they left? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because we were all together at that point.
Yeah.
That they'll have state park people looking at this area, going through. State
Yeah.
park employees would be going through.
Yeah, and,
Yes.
and looking for the same thing you guys were looking for, because you don't want a rekindling to
Yes,
occur, right?
Of course.
And he had stated he's going to be here for a couple of days, him and his crew patrolling the area.
And that was on the 1st, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever return to the scene of the fire after the 1st?
No.
So those were clips of hours-long depositions sent to us from LA City firefighters talking about the Palisades Fire. Obviously, the lawsuits continue from Palisades victims against LA City as well as the state of California. We're going to be following this all very closely. Palisades Fire victims reacting with strong emotions watching these interviews.